After some confusion and blame game, it appears the planned redesign of the Naira is on course. President Muhammadu Buhari has reacted to the plan by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to redesign and replace 100 Naira, 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes from the 15th of December. According to a press statement by the presidential spokesman, Gabashew, President Buhari said the decision has his support and he is convinced that the country will gain a lot from it, PKB. Now, we are now very sure that, look, Emefiele is not on his own. He's not flying solo.
Yeah.
I went to go and check the CBN Act, and I discovered that, yes, Section 27 of it gives the CBN the powers and everything to do what they've done, that they've not done anything wrong.
Yeah.
And there's also a place in the Act that says recourse to Mr. President, and Mr. President was duly notified. Maybe the President failed to tell his own ex-co members. That is where, but as it is now, the situation is that Emefiele is on course.
He has the presidential note. Well, in the history of changing currencies in Nigeria, if I remember my history correctly, it was only Chief Obafemi Awolowo and General Yakubu Gowon that were aware that we were changing from pounds to Naira during the Civil War. And if you remember, it was a 24-hour notice when the then General Muhammadu Buhari, and then I think this man, Sholeye, also decided to change the Naira, the color of the Naira at that point in time. Changing the color of your currency is not something that a lot of people will see. It's not done anywhere in the world. It's basically between a very few people. In fact, some people are already complaining that given this amount of time, we will allow those who want to abort the advantages that will be brought in by the change to also strategize on how to do that. Because normally they do this a week, 3 days, enough to make sure the majority of the money that are not in circulation are kept there, as the system can only absorb when they are mopping up. So to this, I think Mr. Emefiele was right, the president was right. It's the right thing to do. He doesn't have to tell everybody. It's not a fiscal policy. It's a currency policy. That's what to do with the Ministry of Finance. But having said that, there's something you and I know they call the Cobra effect. That is when you look for an answer that will create another problem. And that is my fear for this. Because the last 2 times that we changed the color of our currency or the currency, we're doing the military regime. But in this day and age, when certain things cannot be done, I wish the central bank governor well. Because I personally believe that we need to mop up excess liquidity in our system. Not only because it works and shore up the Naira, it also ensures that whatever we are doing as a nation, we can get a realistic exchange rate over the cost of things that we do. Because right now, a lot of money are kept somewhere in the system, and they are really pushing against the Naira.
Judy, I'm worried. I'm worried about a security and minting company that is not producing our Naira. I'm worried about a Naira that will be shipped abroad that will be produced for 3 Naira per 1 Naira. You understand what I'm saying? At no point in time had they printed this thing outside, and we've not gotten, the expenditure that will be used on that investment be more than the physical cash on ground.
Now, of course, that is the situation. It's expensive to print currencies, especially when you want to put all of those security features to make it difficult for counterfeiters. The last time they printed about 1.6 trillion, it cost about 58 billion naira to print 1.6 trillion. Now, if we are going to, I think the last time they announced that we had about a little over 3 trillion in circulation.
Yes.
Now, if we go by that figure, they could be thinking of printing up to 3 trillion. If they were to print up to 3 trillion, you can see the cost that will incur So it is expensive to print currency, and the printing of this currency will not put an end to counterfeiting. The world is so developed now, and there is tremendous photography technology that has evolved over the years that can cause these people to print our currency within a short time of the release of the currency. And they will put all of those security features that you put there. I pity INEC. INEC, for example, loads its Form EC8A with all kinds of security features because people continue to counterfeit INEC Form EC8A so that they can be able to rig election. So some of the things that they want to achieve, I'm afraid they will achieve only in the short run. For example, if you are saying, oh, that there are so many bandits out there, if you do this, they will not be able to get ransom. That one is only for a short period. Once the exchange has been completed, they will still be kidnapping our people, and you will pay with the new currencies that you have. In any case, some of them, the big-time kidnappers, those big-time kidnappers, it is dollars that they will tell you to bring. As we saw with the train passengers, they all were made to pay the ransom, 100 million each. I think it was a foreigner amongst them that paid 200 million, and they paid in foreign currency with the instruction that you must not take all the money from one road exchange operator. So now, that's to tell you that even bandits will sometimes ask for foreign currency. You know, even Boko Haram, when they kidnap people, there have been occasions when Boko Haram asks for even euros, that they should be paid in euros. So these things happen, you know. Now, the other issue is, how do we change the attitude of people who have made up their minds that they will not put money in the banks?
That's what
it's
I
a
wanted to ask you
cultural
about. 80%
slash.
of this money is
Yes, no, even
it's said to be outside the banking
yes.
sector. How do we mop it up?
Yes.
How do we make them believe in our financial institutions?
Even if you mop it up at that time, it still won't change anything. By the time they have access to the new currency, they will still not use the bank. I mean, this is something, you know, our people want something else to do with religion. How do you convince them? Religion is a dogma, and people are very stoic about what they believe in. I was born, raised in the North, and I did my youth service in the North. I lived there, worked there for years. I know what I'm talking about. I know some big markets in Kano where some of the multi-millionaires there will never take their money into a bank. And everyone knows that this guy is thinkingly rich. Successful business people. They did not go to school, but they are swimming in millions. You can't tell them not to take money to the bank. They won't agree.
John is calling us from Abuja.
Well, good day, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
My name is Godwin from Abuja.
All right, go ahead, please.
The issue of the Minister of Finance, she to apologize to Nigeria or resign from that position, because CBN governor is not answerable to her. That is one. Then Gumi, who is telling us that the kidnappers will be demanding for hard currency, should be also arrested.
All right. I could barely hear what.
He's saying that the CBN governor is not answerable to the federal.
He said about something about those monies out of the system.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about my own my own small Naira cover, okay, we have it in the bank, and they will change it for us, and we just have to collect whatever we have and everything. But there are still people outside the sector too.
Not only in the north, even in the south. There are
Your
a lot
lodgers.
a lot of the allogers would rather convert the money to gold instead of taking to the bank. You see a market woman in Balogun or Tafaji and she'll be putting on something in excess of 50 million naira in terms of gold. Instead, some of them don't take money to the bank. Some of them don't. Some, of course, keep it in their mattresses. So there's a lot of ways to bail the cats. So it's a job that is well
Gold is a much more stable store of value
That's what they do
than,
most of the
than the
time.
currency.
Even some of the richest northerners, who are men, also prefer to keep their money
From
in
Kano
gold.
or
And
Saudi
it's
Arabia.
not peculiar to Nigeria. Even in the US, there's a lot of millionaires who are converted to gold basically as a safekeep when the dollar is going up and down. Two things can be done. The first one, of course, is to let them know that they can pass it through the system and still be protected. That is what will be very difficult to do. Because people have been doing this for 200, 300 years, since the Oweyo days, and they are not about to change. So government must find a way to protect them and assure them that their money is safe.
And to not be multiplied.
That's the only way. Because if you ask them to go to
They
the
don't
bank,
want interest on their money.
they don't want it, they just want
That's
their
the
money.
thing. So now if they do a lot of enlightenment, that look, it's just to change this thing for you.
Their money is
Maybe
safe.
it will help.
Yeah.
They don't want
Anything to do.
anything. They don't want the money
to
to
do
multiply
doubling of
in
money.
any way. Because
Multiplying.
that's what they see as betting, as gambling and all that. And that's the way.
Yes, I know.
Maybe now, for such people, they can use we have some non-interest banks.
I think
in our
Jais
country.
Bank, Islamic
Jais,
Bank,
you know, Jais is just one of them. It's a non-interest bank, Islamic bank. Maybe such people can go through that bank
I think
because
Sukuk,
at
I
least
think Sukuk
everybody
is also,
Yes, if you go to the principle
everybody
of
knows
Sukuk,
that. Okay,
the financing of Sukuk.
everybody knows that Jais Bank is a non-interest bank, so and it's an Islamic bank. So if they can go through the bank can help them facilitate the exchange from old notes to new notes. Maybe that will give them the confidence to take. But again, old habits die hard.
yeah, it's going to take a lot of work.
We had this kind of thing in 1984. Yet, until I left the North in 1999, the practice was still on.